Alrighty, welcome, people. Welcome to the second week of the Gen 4 Cup for Season 2 of 2025. This week, we are racing in Iowa. Um, I've always been very iffy at Iowa, unfortunately, but um, our hope here is going to be pretty simple. Which is to have an okay finish. Shouldn't be too hard, right? Decide to stream 30 minutes earlier than I need to. The reason for that, there's not a big one, honestly. Uh, but it helps me with the fact that I'm going to be practicing 30 minutes early. That's the main thing. Um, so yeah. Do I need the practice? Not really, but it is nice to get in. So we're gonna basically be doing a full hour of practice, and then the race. Again, it's not required, but it is gonna help us. It is gonna be nice to get there. I did about 18 or so minutes so far of practice earlier today. That happened around 10 p.m. my time, if you're wondering. But we were about 2/10 off of about 2 to 3 tenths off of really quick lap times, which is what I got off of pole position for the start of the week. So it could be faster, it could be slower. Don't quite know yet. You actually see somebody's running a 0.3, so we ran a 0.6, which would still be good for fourth. Which is kind of what the my data, my look into the data would show as well. Like we'd be a solid top 10 car, with the lap time we were running. I've been running mainly the second groove. My fastest lap time last practice was in the first groove, but I like the second groove. I think running maybe in the middle of the second and first groove is actually going to be the fastest, but I think we could have got on the throttle a little sooner. Yeah, definitely could have. It's okay though. Just a banking lap, really. Super loose there though. Managed to save it, but still unfortunate. Maybe it's one of those cases where during the race we'll run that second groove, even though I didn't feel like it saved tires or anything. There's a bump all the way down there that gets the car a little wobbly, a little freaked out. So maybe running in the middle. Car got a little weird. That was really good though. That's the fastest I've gone through that. Even with the little wiggle. Yeah, that's a fast lap time. That is not my fastest ever, but like I said, we got into that fourth place. We're gonna hit that bump. It didn't affect the car a lot. Kind of have to wiggle the steering wheel out of the corners ever so slightly. trying to take my lessons I learned in Las Vegas, especially on that Sunday race, to heart here, which it's just hard, you know? Because, I mean, this is a short track, you know? And Las Vegas is not, so... We're at the point now where the car is not going to run any more fast laps at this point. My plan is to run this out. It seems like if we get a full race here, which I expect, this to either be 1 or to 2 splits, we'll kind of see. But it seems like there's a lot of cautions, a lot of crashes that kind of happen. And, like, even top split for the first race of the week, which is normally the most competitive, you know, the racing will be all week, had 6 cautions in top split. That is a lot. I do know the front ends of these cars are very pointy, so if you rear end somebody for a bump and run, which you shouldn't really be doing at this track anyways, but if you do that, then the car in front of you is going to spin out. Hit that wall a little bit, but it's okay. So I don't know how much tire saving is going to truly matter. I mean, if there's 6 cautions, you know, for a 100-lap race, you know... Now, granted, some of those might be congested, but honestly, they probably are congested cautions, but... You know, still important to know. This car on this track, though, really cool, really solid. You know, I said before how I haven't had luck here, and early on in my iRacing career, that was because I was so used to racing open wheelers, you know, Indy cars around here. And you have to tackle the track completely differently in both cars because, duh, open wheelers have way more aero, they have way more grip. You can run this without braking on those cars. Really cool track, but you know, that it's a short track, just another short track in you know, stock cars. Somebody, I don't remember if somebody mentioned it to me or if I think it's in the iRacing description for the track, but it's actually a identical track to Richmond. And that helped me a huge amount. Richmond's one of the tracks that I'm actually okay at. I don't know what's different about them. I assume there are differences. But after that, I kind of realized, you know, okay, I need to race it more like Richmond. And that helped me somewhat. But we'll see here. My best result here, I think, was like a 3rd place. About like 2 to 3 seasons ago. I think that was in the trucks. So, I know that I can race. Was way in the throttle. Bit of a lead foot moment right there. But let's hope if we can improve on that. You know, that would be our season best finish. Just for a little rundown, we finished 14th in the first race of the season, which got streamed, but the stream was messed up, so the first streamed race we finished, I think, 7th. And then a few days ago, on Sunday, or Saturday, excuse me, we finished P4. We would have finished P3, and honestly, we had the pace to finish P2 and maybe even take that win, but that didn't happen for us, unfortunately. And we're kind of just running here. That we were gonna have to do some evasive maneuvers. I'm happy that I'm keeping the track put together a lot better. In this practice so far, the bump on turn 2, there's a little bit of a hill. It's not really a bump. It's like straight up a incline, and then like a little bit of a decline. It's weird. but you can even kind of see it. You don't even have to feel it. Gets the car a little turned, so you have to be careful going up on it. So right here, there's like an incline with the banking, because I assume the banking's stopping and is going back to normal. It's very weird. Had to get out of the throttle there. I got too high. That's something else I'm doing, is I'm hitting the curvature of the top on the front stretch, which is a little unfortunate. I even hit on the back stretch occasionally. It's a lack of concentration thing, that one is. So that should be super easy to figure out. I'll be honest, a lot of cars spinning in practice, and by a lot I mean I've only seen like 2 or 3, which isn't bad, but I don't quite understand how you spin it out. This car's super easy to, you know, save and everything, but, you know, I shouldn't judge too much. I was at one point there, and not amazing. So, this car behind has fresher tires. They're going to catch up to me. The only way they don't is if they burn it up, which, you know, might happen. But I wouldn't bet money on it, definitely. It's actually that Tony Stewart Home Depot car, number 19, which is a little weird. Need to bump that number up one more, but he got me, no problems, just ran the bottom. Would have even gone by me even if he ran the top or any line of his choosing, but decided to run the bottom. Is running really high up there. That might be for the actual race. I don't quite know what the racing line is going to look like, as in what the top drivers are really going to run. But he's running this top line. I find that interesting. Very fascinating. I know in the truck race where I got third, a lot of people were running the top line. Got loose again. That's going to be the real killer, because every single time we get loose, it's hurting my tires. So, if we can avoid it. And I think a lot of it has to do with this car kind of rotates with the throttle. It's very weird like that. As we run all the way down to the bottom on that one. We're going to try some different lines. That one we weren't able to get all the way to the bottom. You know, that's something that I learned at Las Vegas, is that it's weird, but getting into the throttle to rotate yourself out of the corner is going to save you tires. Not, you know, a lot of cars are the opposite. They want you to roll the corner through and wait to pick up the throttle. This car doesn't. You want to get on the throttle really quickly, and to me that's really awkward and weird. But I do think is a really fun driving experience. You know, again, kind of getting back into this car. I understand why so many people loved it. It's going to be so sad that, again, after this season, it's gone. It will no longer be ran in officials. This is the first car I ever bought on iRacing. You know, so big moment, honestly. My previous time, again, in about 18 minutes, I ran about 52 laps or something like that. That's half race distance, which is pretty decent. But it is important to note, you can make it to like lap 80. Like lap 70. I was 10 over. So that means the pit window can start at lap 30. If you make it to lap 30, it might be worth it if you're in the back, or even if you're up front, to do that, because you're going to end up multiple laps down if you do a green flag pit stop. That was a really bad lap. But you're going to end up multiple laps down here at a short track, so it's actually going to be super important to potentially pit on lap 30, and then have the extra set if you need it, but you don't have to pit for fuel again. And that extra set is only going to come in handy, if there's a caution. And then basically, you kind of gauge where that is, So if it's been a caution fest up to that point, maybe you don't take tires until lap like 60, maybe even 70. So all of that's definitely some things to think about. There is some strategy here. Again, right now I just kind of want to see what the tire wear's like for a full stint. I definitely used and abused my tires last time. Because again, in those 52 laps, I had about 70, I want to say 74. I wonder if I can actually look. I wonder if it saves. I kind of knew. I kind of knew it wouldn't. But I was around like 74. Well, if you add on 20 more laps to that, that's not too bad, but that's not amazing either. But the driving didn't get bad. It's not like I was sitting there like, oh my god, this car sucks, Like, you're slow, but you feel like you're still racing, I mean, for this right now, I'm just kind of logging some laps. I'm in full autopilot mode. We're not really focusing on gaining every little ounce of speed. Again, I don't quite know. We're going to try the bottom again. If the bottom is going to be a little better, or if the top is, or again, that middle groove that I feel very comfortable running. Like, I kind of like the runoff more because on the bottom, because it aids how the car wants to be driven more. It's easier to kind of get back onto the throttle here when you reach the bottom and just lift off on the car, counter steer your way out of the corner. It feels more natural than running this middle where, you're already a little up the track. So, especially on turn 1 and 2 where you have to be careful about that big hump, you can kind of pass by that big hump. Oh, that was super not very good. And it's getting yourself slowed down enough to run it, though. We're a little early, I feel like, on that throttle. Like, maybe running the bottom for 1 and 2. I want to say that this track, at the minimum, for all the things you can say about it, it's good because it's multi-grooved. There are not a lot of short tracks on iRacing or in real life or anything that are multi-grooved. And if they are, they normally have crazy banking, and I'm not going to say that this doesn't. It does. The banking is pretty ridiculous here, but, it's not like a Bristol, so, and it's not that it's only multi-grooved for some cars, like a lot of the other multi-grooved short tracks where, sure, maybe on slower cars it's multi-grooved. No, like, this is legitimately multi-grooved racing with, Indy cars and NASCARs, and it's just a really cool track. It's technically, for NASCAR, my home track. Minnesota obviously doesn't have a track that the Cup Series runs on. Elko Speedway, unfortunately, isn't in iRacing yet, but I feel like at some point will probably be added. I'd really like it to be added. But this is my local track for this season. There's no doubt about that. So, car is starting to get a little hard to turn in. I did try out the pit lane. It's a pit lane. I was a little cautious going in, but it's normally better to be cautious than, you know, get a speeding penalty. Or completely miss it. This is actually one of the tracks where I feel like missing the pit lane is not too uncommon, because it's a little tucked, but... Again, only 2 short tracks this season for Gen 4. And I believe they're both... It's both Iowa and Richmond, so the 2 tracks that are... carbon copies of each other. Again, I don't know to what extent, though. I assume there are differences between them. But the layout, the general layout, they're both D-shaped short tracks, so... I feel like we're running good lap times here. Like, maybe I can be a little, you know, more on the edge, but... Like, that one wasn't as good. This will be lap 50. So 20 more to go until we run out. 22, actually. We've been apparently saving some fuel. I assume we can register at this point. I don't actually know, but I assume. Actually calculate it. If every lap is, let's say, 30 seconds for right now, that means 10 laps will be 5 minutes. Right? That means 100 laps should be 50 minutes. And that means 50 laps should be like 25 minutes. But it's even less than that. So actually, maybe registration is not even opened up yet. I assume it hasn't. Because you have to minus 6 seconds, essentially, off of each lap. That 19 is definitely going to pass us coming up here, because I think he just came out of the pits. And again, we are on very old tires. Not even like, oh, they're just kind of old. No, they're like really old. That's kind of weird. I was trying something a little different. I think we got too tight midway through the corner. But this 19 is learning quite a bit. They are actually well within our lap times. So, unfortunately, though, with new tires, we can't learn quite anything about actually racing or anything, because they smack the wall and are going to leave it on the corner exit for me to almost smack. I respect that, though. That's finding the limit of the track. As weird as that sounds... Oh. Hitting the wall is super beneficial in practice, because you're finding the limits, you're trying to find what you can get away with, what you can't, you know? So I respect it. The grind, the hustle, you know? I think on turn 3 and 4 I can try getting the throttle earlier to rotate the car out. I've been trying that on turn 1 and 2, and it scared me from doing that on 3 and 4. Because it doesn't work here. It's again that hump, your car wants to go sideways. It's weird, you almost turn your car with your throttle. I'm getting too deep into the corners. And too deep again. And we're at really the limit of what these tires are going to be doing during the actual race. Like, worst case scenario, they're running about 74 laps straight. And honestly, I mean, the car kind of just feels like it's, you know, been ran for 74 laps straight. Like, you know, it's not bad, it's not good. Like, the car doesn't want to turn, but that's more of an issue on corner entry than exit. Like, the car feels legitimately good on corner exit. Like, I don't notice too much of a difference. Just that entry is so tight. And the car doesn't want to rotate mid-corner on that one. You know. You kind of have to, like, force the hand of it. You have to guide the car through the corner with the throttle. Be like, no, you need to turn. That was a super weird one. That felt really bad. That's going to be a really slow lap time, I feel like. Yeah, it was. It was about a tenth off. Oh. A little too much on exit. It's okay. You can do some of that. So, heard it there. 5 laps. We can quite literally feel the end. The end is nigh. And this 21 car is going to get by us. There is no doubt about that. I feel like they're trying to learn lines from me. I feel like they should have already passed. Well, here they go for it. Yeah, they're just not getting the exit. I don't quite know if that's them not wanting to take the exit, or it's them trying to learn some things about our line, but... you know. Unfortunately, they aren't going to learn too much. This one they're going to have us, though. Nope, he backs out again. Like, that was a pretty okay pit entry. It was a little scary. I think that's as close as you want to cut it. Let's see how we did with these tires.
Pit box in 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
It was an okay pit stop. Wasn't my best. 35. Ooh. Yeah. I definitely would need to get that not like that. That's really low. If we can help it, I would prefer not running that low with the tires. That's pretty bad. You always have to assume that during the actual race, you know, you don't quite do it. Has this series gone official today? Let's see. Oh, that's not where you do it. It's in results. 4 entries. Legitimately, people might not just be running. I mean, if that happens, if we end up in a case, well, I don't know, they had 4 cars. I mean, that's almost there. You know. Yeah, they've been running hourly. They moved all the schedules to hourly. I'm gonna be honest, not a fan of it. Specifically, like, I think the more popular series is, the more, like, okay, sure, you can do it. For these series that have smaller communities, like the Gen 4 Cup, or, you know, the, like, I know a lot of people are complaining about the NASCAR 87s right now. Yeah, like, most sessions are not going official because who's going official in them, you know? The small community that race them is probably on a schedule where they're racing, you know, as many as they can, but you're not getting out of these races in time to join the next session unless if they're over really quickly. You know, so absolutely, I agree. You know, I am literally the only one registered right now, and we're 6 minutes in. You know, which again isn't too bad. I do want to make clear, like, that it's fine, you know, but You didn't know that that's just a general issue apparently I'm having with turn. With that turn. I tried steering my way out of it. Oh. Car all sideways. I wanna try shooting for actually fast laps. Yeah, it seems like it's going to be one of those where, like, the qualifying, you know, run in that second line might actually be quick. Yeah, okay. 3 people are registered, so we're halfway there to making it official. I mean, that's my fastest lap ever. It's still not actually that fast, though. So clearly there's still some time to gain on 3 and 4, and I feel like on 1 there's an insane amount of time I'm just not reaching quite yet. I want to focus on fast laps because it's still a short track. Like, where you qualify is still going to determine a lot. You know, like, I've always considered myself a pretty okay tire saver. So I'm not too concerned with that. You know. Only 1 registered now. think I'm overdriving. I was kind of doing the weird thing where I actually brake earlier, go into the corner, get on the throttle super early. Game lagged right there a little bit. I'm gonna blame that, even though I was way on the throttle way too early, but I should say too aggressive with the throttle early. You want to be on the throttle a little early, but I mean, like our optimal is in the 0.5s. If we can get in the 0.5s, we have a, you know, I would say it's confirmed that we're gonna have a decent, you know, start. At this point, I think our tires are too shot. Looked kind of good. We were basically diamonding the track there on turn 1 and 2. If you get it to this point, you just steer your way out. You know? I mean, you don't need to care about the tires. Normally, steering your way out has some issues, though. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, 2 people registered again. What time is it? We do need to somewhat keep this. I know we're still a ways in. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a little disappointing of a showing. I mean, like, maybe I need to change the day I race this. Like, Iowa isn't too badly owned, right? Like, people own this track. I've seen people run this track, you know? I like running during the day and not the night. So, like, right here. Oh. Ah. Oh. Okay. That was weird. I'm just out of tune right now. Okay, 4 people. That's not too bad. Five? Okay. I think it's gonna at least be official, even if it's only 6 cars. Oh, man. It sucks because nobody fast is in right now, so I can't even be like, you know, where am I missing the time, you know?
I got a radio check. No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, well, enough people are in where it's official.
It's that wall catches you, man. It won't let go.
I don't know, everybody here is, I guess, somewhat struggling for pace. Which seems weird. I don't know what's causing it either. I mean, it could be the temps, but I don't know if I want to believe that everybody here is, like, really off the pace. Because a .8 is slow, you know? I don't want to believe that. I can definitely imagine that people can run .3s on this track in these conditions, because it's not like Yeah, I don't know. Oh, big contact.
Car outside. Clear outside to get on it.
He was gonna let me buy under.
Car outside. Outside, clear.
Oh, okay, finally somebody ran a better lap time. Let's see what he's doing. I mean, like, my oh my god. My pedals moved. I have to get my pedals relined up. Yeah, let's see what this guy's doing. We have 4 minutes. Oh, and he's gone. Okay, cool. I guess. Decided he didn't want to race it. Oh no. Still in? I mean, that's one hell of a connection, too. But international, I get it. We can't see it for some reason. Got it. I mean, yeah. Finally have the pedals a little closer to me. Hopefully they do not move while the actual race is going on. That would kind of suck. Oh.
Slow car down low. Go high.
Things delicious and chew that horse.
Ready to move up.
Mmm.
And then he just hits the... Why? Like, I get it, whatever, you're running your line, I can't complain about that. Like, I think it's dumb because my lap time's been impeded, but that's practice, you know, I get it. But, like, then to just hit the wall? Like, what were you doing? I think we probably could have ran out of that corner.
Still there, hold your line. Clear outside to get on it.
that's gonna end. Well, we'll see. We will see. I'm gonna go quickly go to the bathroom. I'll be back, and we'll be in the race, you know? Well, at least in qualifying. So, BRB. Just realized my mic was muted. I don't know if it was muted before or after. What I was saying though, we know that the number 2 has pace. I mean, he got a .5 in practice. That's at least something. But then in qualifying pulled a .8, which, you know, so maybe he's fast, just couldn't get it connected. That could definitely be. We failed a little bit on that qualifier, though. I feel like we could have gone to the .5s. So I feel like me and the number 2 are definitely equal-esque pace. The number 11 can also do a .6, so there is that. Although did not get a .6 in qualifying, it looks like. The number 4 with a .7, that isn't that great. So there are some cars here that at least have somewhat close to my pace. I'm at somewhat of a disadvantage from some people who have ran more laps, though, or have actually ran a race.
Yeah, let's not escalate things. He was up against the wall, man. You try to get off the wall, your car doesn't always go where you want it to.
Okay, number 2 trying to, I think, cool some things
down. I
down.
ran into him in the back on purpose. I tried going low because he was against the wall, and he seen me coming, going slower than hell he was because he's against the wall, and then cut it in down into the bottom. Nothing I could have done.
Okay. We'll see where this drama goes from here.
Yep, let's have a good race.
You know, I can at least appreciate that. This might be our first lap, our first pull, our first lap, our first pull. If that's the case,
I will say, as somebody who likes to hit the wall like that, man, once you get off there, sometimes it just comes off like that. I don't think he intentionally was trying to get in front of you. I think it was just one of them deals.
At the end of it, it wasn't my fault. I tried avoiding him.
it seems like this is indeed going to be a
Damn, Sean, man, you had to bump me off the front row.
Surprised you didn't get into the 5s again.
see if he responds to this.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised too.
Okay.
First, I mean, I was more surprised by that I was in the 23.59. Like that kind of surprised me.
Yeah, I can run the .6s really well and normal, but I can't get into the .5s to save my life.
5 cars left to grid.
So we'll see what this is like. Again, where my plan is to do the entire, when we get to lap 30, I'm just going to pit. If we get a caution, pretty simple. You just need to take the fuel. Going down multiple laps on a green flag stop.
I don't know. He talks a lot of shit, so it's kind of fun sometimes.
You know.
Let's have fun, guys, and remember, there's what, 10 of us in here. Let's try and go 100 laps without killing each other.
Still waiting on 2 cars to grid.
Yeah, that'd be really awesome. This is a fun track when it's a long green flag stop. So
I did it. Where were we last week? Vegas.
my split got really close to doing the full race caution free, but then around the end, people were getting a little reckless and were crashing a lot.
Yeah, was it 80 laps last week? And we went 80 laps green, one, just a green flag pit stop.
So that's our first poll. It seems like everybody in here is pretty nice, which is good for
A lot
us.
of people don't understand is really the first 5-10 laps, you really need to just conserve tires. Otherwise, you just destroy them.
Yeah.
You guys running mostly the bottom or the top?
Both. Middle 1 and 2. Top 3, 4, unless I need to run the bottom.
10-4. Yeah, it's my first race with these cars here, like, lately.
They'll spin out real easy on you. Correct.
Yeah, qualifying was pretty sketchy.
Yep, have fun.
Starter has control. Maintain the pace speed until the green flag, then go. Green, green, green. Car outside. Go low.
A lot of tire spin.
Outside clear. Outside. Outside is clear. The next car is the leader. Got the fastest lap. Car outside. Still there. Clear high. Outside. Go low.
I want to get into them.
Clear outside. Just hit the fastest lap. Car outside. Still there. Hold your line. Clear outside. Car outside. Still there. Go low. The car on the high side. Outside clear.
Do a bit of a slide job on him.
Still there. Hold your line. You have the new leader. Still inside. Go high. Car on the low side. Keep high. Clear inside. Car inside. Clear. Inside. Still there. Hold your line. Clear inside. Car inside. Clear inside. Car inside. Clear inside.
I was gonna say, it's not going to be advantageous for him to actually hold that.
Yeah, you barely touch it, and it just sucks you in there. I thought I hit it perfect with my right rear, and nope.
So now it's just controlling the tempo.
I did that already too.
RF dog, clear hard.
Poor car is hanging with us a little bit. That's fine though. He's been hitting the wall though, quite a bit. So for him, he might be on the edge of what he can run.
Man, that was intense, brother. Very much respect to the Ford team for not wrecking you.
Yeah, I heard him coming over. I was trying to give him plenty of room, and I tapped the wall. Then next thing I know, I see his front end, then his rear end.
And kind of just in autopilot right now. I do want to somewhat keep an eye on the lap times.
Trying to find some speed, man.
Grip.
We're lucky that didn't run out of caution.
Good luck finding that. The grip is in your right foot. Yeah, of course.
Who was it in practice? Was it 8, Matt number 9, or was it all the way around?
8 hit the wall, 9 came off the wall, and 9 ran into him. I'm telling you, once you get in that wall, it will not let you off of it.
Man, it sucks you right in, boy.
Pace car, turn 2. Pace car, turn 2.
Catch the pace car.
You two were having way too much fun up here. I think I need to join you.
The pit road's open.
I didn't know. I was very curious if everybody was going to follow me. I think with this fuel, we can make it to the end of the race without another pit stop.
I believe so.
3, 2, 1. Right here.
We are also taking tires, even though...
You're gonna run, or 9, run pit road speed.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what fuel I wanted and
You
everything
only
else.
have one tire kept remaining. Line up, single file. Half run 8.
Oh, when you're running like 35, you're messing everyone up.
Man, my left sides are still at 97.
Yeah, it pains me to take those tires off. I wish you could run used tire sets because like I didn't have a lot of wear on either side, but you have to because if this goes green, I don't want used tires.
Yeah. So I have a 94 or 84 in the front, 87 in the rear.
Well, 90 and 92.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But I think I'm kind of slow.
80 on the right, 97 on the left. I went in and hit it. I don't understand it.
But Travis, I mean, if we have a long green flag run and you're running consistently the same lap times, you will catch up.
Right.
Just lose a lot on the start. I mean, I try to run like a 24.2 to a 24.4.
One to go. Next time by, you'll be lining up on the inside.
This time I'll try to not spin my tires all the way through the front stretch of this restart.
I mean, I at least appreciate that you went down and not up.
Yeah, I was like, well, that's gonna be bad. So I just instantly tried getting out of the way.
And the way it happened was the car behind me tapped me at the same time you went, so it just fucked me all up.
You have control. Maintain the pace speed until the restart zone. Then go. Green, green, green.
I want to get out here to quite a lead. I don't want to simmer. Like, that could have been way faster. Luckily, these two cars are battling, which is going to give me extra breathing room if I need it. They're battling themselves, not trying to necessarily keep up with me.
Yeah, he did not want to give up that second place.
Yep. Back to just controlling the pace. Again, you don't want to end up in a scenario where you scruff up your tires too much. I think the number 2 knows he's not quite as fast right now, so he's hoping that I'm using up my stuff. See it a little, he backed up his pace a little bit because he lost in the last like 5 laps or so about 3/10. You know, it's a game of inches, and I'm gaining inches, but his hope is that I'm using up everything to gain these few inches.
That's never good. At 44 laps remaining on this tank. What the fuck?
Okay, we're halfway to the finish.
Then he has 44 laps. I think that the system glitched, but if that slows him down even more, because he's trying to save fuel now, you know, I'll accept it. That or sign went wrong with his auto fuel, and it didn't fuel the car how it should have, which would suck. Yeah, he's slowing up a huge amount. That or the car, the 4 car is speeding up a lot. Because that used to be over half of a second gap between them. It's now 2/10. Shouldn't focus too much on them though, honestly. are starting to get a little tight. Need to be careful about how much I'm turning the steering wheel. Oh. Lucky we did it right when we were going in for the turn. Again, just need to concentrate. That lap car upset me a little bit in terms of distracting me. They raced completely fine.
I didn't have nothing to lose. I was already a lap down. He just put me a lap down.
What'd I tell you there, Travis? You're slowly catching back up.
Yeah, 10-4.
So I think what the number 5 was talking about, I think he grabbed new tires. Basically, he was saying he's a lap down, so he's going to go out here and he's going to try chasing the back of the pack, which, considering how far off he was from the back of the pack, not a bad idea. Like I was saying, he didn't hand me the position, but that's totally fine. I'm fine with lap cars actually battling, as long as if they're only, you know, trying to stay on the lead lap. If they're multiple laps down, no. Like, what are you trying to gain? Your race is essentially over, but if you're trying to stay on the lead lap, I get it, man. Just don't wreck me. You know. The big no-nos are like, don't wreck somebody, you know, you don't bump. You don't do any of that, you know. But holding your line and just running your race, I can't say no to that. Like, you don't have to pull over. So I'm totally fine with him running his line there, you know. I mean, I had to pass him like he was actually just another car for a position, which I'm fine with, you know. Sometimes you have to do that. 5 laps to go. So we're 3/4 of the way done. Fuel's still looking good by 3 laps.
Heat's cheaper.
And number 5 is on the charge. Not too surprising.
What's that?
Twenty laps now. The 11 car must have also pitted.
F5 still laying down that rubber. I wish.
Got 10 laps to go.
You heard the spotter.
The Algeria car just wrecked out.
Looks like that 11 car wrecked out, I think is what he said. Luckily, it didn't cause a caution. That would suck right now. Because there'd be somebody in the field who would try to make it unused tires. And would probably spin on the start.
Five to go. Keep it up. We're in a great spot.
Terrible. Terrible corner.
Two more. Let's go. I need one more good lap.
Oh, white flag. Caution can't end it any... Well, caution will end it.
You got about 5 laps of fuel left.
Leader ran out of gas, guys.
Woo! First win of the season. Oh my god.
You won.
Oh my god.
Come on, Travis. You can't do that like that.
The last corner, I fucked it off.
Hey, good job there, man. Up to second.
Yeah, it was fun.
Good win, Max. Max, you dominated us.
Yeah, you guys are really cool, really chill. That was a really fun race, guys.
Okay, the race is over. Bring it on in.
We're gonna do one more lap around. Excited about that win, even if it came from a race that we needed to dominate, honestly. Like they said, you know, it sucks that this is kind of how the first one goes with, you know, only 11 cars. But you gotta take what you get. You don't win every day. This is my first oval win in, like, 2 seasons. Because... first oval win actually of 2025, so let's, you know, that's worth something. I don't do burnouts. I don't plan on doing a burnout here, but
And my right front was 49, my right rear
oh, I should have looked.
63.
So yeah, really fun race. I'm gonna quickly take a quick screenshot to post.
There's a lot of zeros under incidents on this one.
Is that a good? Is that a good?
Thanks for the good race, guys.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We'll do that one. Let me quickly take a screenshot. Screenshot every win. I don't do burnouts. We'll do a burnout on the final race we do of the season. But yeah, again, super cool, super fun. Let's see here. So we gained I rating, which I don't fully agree with. What was number 2? Okay, so we were racing against some 2000s. I think that proves how much I've grown, honestly, because I used to be 2000 for a really long time, could never get over the hump. We're closing out on 3000 again. I was 3002 seasons ago. Very quickly got that dropped, though. We had the quickest lap, but really, I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. Yeah. It's fascinating, actually. You got the same amount of championship points that we did for, like, 7th place race. So that kind of proves what iRacing thought about this race. Wasn't actually that crazy to win. But, again, a win's a win. You gotta take it where you can get them. So, yeah. I'll see you guys on Thursday, where we race at Portimel. I've heard that is a very hard track. I've never raced there, although I've owned the track for a really long time. So we'll see. But yeah, first international road course race after Sebring. So yeah, look forward to that. And then again on Saturday we'll do another fun stream. I plan on doing some more Gen 4 Cup stuff, so that this isn't the only race. I like that we won, and I like that we did really well. But again, you know, easier competition. Some like, other than maybe the top 3, maybe 4, nobody else would have made top split if this was split into 2. So yeah, but a win's a win. So really exciting, really good race. Thank you all for watching. Again, I'll see you on